Okay. Yeah, basically today is focusing on grammar close as well as your vocabulary close. I would say that the format is slightly different from PSLE because the number of questions are very few. Okay, but because you guys are still in primary four, so they tend to give you shorter passages. Okay, but eventually you need to still be ready for your PSLE English. So PSLE English in terms of grammar close, there are going to be 10 questions. Okay, just to get you familiarized. All right. For grammar close, there are 10 questions. For vocabulary close, actually, there are um, not so little questions. That's one. And also for vocabulary close, for PSLE, there are no helping words. Okay. So you still have to get used to it. I think for this one, the vocabulary close, they all have helping words there to help you out. Right. So we actually have two vocabulary close here. And they all have helping words. Usually for PSLE one, no helping words, and it's a total of 12 marks. Okay, so just to get you a little bit more prepared first, because ultimately you will still be preparing for your PSLE. So you need to know the format of the exam. Okay, maybe I'll just show you very quickly. This is the exam format for PSLE English, right? The examination format. Okay, so as I was saying, grammar close, if you see, is 10 marks. Okay. Uh, okay, the vocabulary close here. Oh, okay, there are two close passages basically. There's a comprehension close, which is very much like your vocabulary close. And then there's another vocabulary close here. This vocabulary close is 5 marks. Okay, it's 5 marks and it has MCQ questions. Okay, so maybe I'll show you PSLE English paper. Just show you a sample, yeah. Okay, so this one is just a school paper, P6, primary 6 prelims paper, yeah. So you have your this one, okay. So this is how it should look like. 5 marks in your section A. So you have like words that are underlined, and then you will have you will have options, MCQ, okay, it's a multiple choice question. So for example, these trolls with their heinous schemes have made it difficult for many online users to enjoy the internet. So this word heinous, you will have to then decide which of these words best fit in this blank. That means which of these words have the closest meaning to heinous in this context, okay, in the context of this passage. Okay, so if you notice, it's very different from the one that you've been doing on, on your homework so far. But I thought I should highlight it because you need to know how the vocabulary close look like for PSLE. Okay, so same thing, like for example, question 17, they pass off as. So pass off as innocent online users at first. So which of these actually, tell us that or rather, which of these has the closest meaning to pass off as innocent online users? You get it? Yeah? Is it okay? Any questions for this one? Okay, now I'm going to show you another closed passage that is in your section B. This one is in section A because it's multiple choice. Okay, another closed passage is actually mostly testing you on vocabulary as well. Now that one is very heavy in terms of weightage. This one is This one is the grammar cloze. Okay, grammar cloze is quite similar to what you're doing now. There are helping words, but instead of like 5 questions, there are actually 10 questions. Okay, so there are a total of 10 questions, yeah? And then for the next one, which is this part, this one is editing. This one. Okay, this is a total of 15 marks. A lot of students struggle with this. This is a comprehension cloze. So comprehension cloze, a lot of times you have to choose the best word for the blank. And it's open-ended. There are no helping words. And this is a total of 15 marks. Okay, so 15 marks, a lot of times students struggle with this. They don't know how to find the best answer and they might not score so well for this. Okay, so this is something that you want to work towards as well. So for now, you are in P4. We will still provide you with some helping words. Okay, but the main idea of close passage is that you need to be able to know what word class fits the blank. Okay, sometimes certain blanks can only be a verb or a noun or whichever. It cannot be either one of, it cannot be the other. So you need to, sort of like get some techniques to tackle close passages. Okay, because all the passages will be different, but how do we tackle close passages? One way is to look at certain words that belong together, like collocations. So that is what we are going to talk about today. We are actually focusing on identifying collocations today. So what do we mean by collocations? Collocations are words, 2 or more words that usually belong together. So if I have to have a blank, in something to, okay, in something to, I think the first word that most of you will think about will be in order to, right? So these words usually they belong together. So that's what we call collocations. Okay, so if you have in mind a lot of collocations, then when it comes to close passage, it gets easier because you know that, oh, these words must belong together. Okay. All right, class rules, I think Ken is new, so I'll just quickly go through. It's good that you've turned on your video and also mute your microphone, okay, and also change your name to your real name. I think that's something that is expected of you to do. If you have any questions, just raise hands. There's this reaction button here. Okay, you can just raise your hands and then they'll prioritize you to the front. Then you'll be able to ask questions. Okay. If you need to go toilet, maybe just just type in the chat, inform me, and just go. I think it's normal that you want to go toilet, but usually try if you can hold it in. If you can, of course, if you can't, I understand you need to answer nature's call and just go ahead. Oh, there's a new student coming in. Hold on. One more new student, is it? Or is it Ivan? No? Zenko. Okay. I think that's the new student because Melva. Okay, great. Hi, you're Melva, right? Yes? Okay, so we've got Melva and Ken. So Melva, we were just going through, oh, how come there are 2 accounts over there? I think I see Jara dancing there. Jara, is your CCA dance? Is your CCA dance? You're dancing over there. I was thinking, are you from the dance CCA? No? Okay, I thought you were from dance CCA. Okay, Melba, you're pretty much settled, right? Settled down? Okay. Yeah, so basically we are going through the class rules now, because we've got new students today, right? So basically, good thing is that you've turned on your video and your microphone. You might also want to change your name. Okay, I think there's an ellipsis at the top right corner of your video. You might just want to, or maybe I can help you with that. I think I can rename. Okay. Can I do that? Let me see. Yeah, I can do that. Okay, I've helped you change your name already. Okay, because I think Zen is your mom's name, right? Okay. Yeah, so we were just talking about toilet break. Usually I'll give you a break in between. So you don't necessarily, I mean, if you can hold it in, you hold it in. Otherwise, you'll miss out on things. But otherwise, if you're really urgent, I can also understand because you need to answer nature's call, right? So just go ahead. Okay, if you need to go. Maybe just out of courtesy, just inform, right? Type in the chat or something. Okay? So all in all, it's really just to be respectful to everybody, right? I see Gerald dancing again. Okay, so it's really just to be respectful. Okay, it's a it's a shared cyberspace here, so just be mindful. Okay, yeah, that's all. Yeah, so we were saying we're going through close passages, and I was just going through with your classmates here on the expectations of close passages. Basically, the close passage that you are doing now, somewhat similar, but there are still differences from your PSLE close passages. So you need to be mindful of that because you need to know what you are getting yourself into for the close passages. Yeah. Okay, we'll start with grammar close first. Okay. Any volunteers to read? Jara, please.
A mouse and a frog were friends. Were friends. Every morning, the frog would hop out of his pond and visit his friend who lived on a hole at the side of a tree.
Okay, let's pause here for a while. Now, most of these words are actually your prepositions. Okay, and then in this case, lift is a verb. A whole, okay, a whole is already a noun. It's actually a noun phrase. Okay, why is it a noun phrase? Because a is an article, whole is a noun. So when you have an article and a noun, it becomes a noun phrase. It's a phrase because it's two or more words, right? Okay, so since you have a verb and an object already, so what can come in between? It could be an adjective, it can be a descriptive word, an adjective, but here there's an article, so it's unlikely. So it can be a preposition as well. Okay. So Grace, you want to try this one? In. Okay, so because it's a whole, so the preposition we use for a whole is usually in. But then again, please remember, okay, for this question, you need to make sure in exam, in PSLE it's the same. They expect you to write the letters. Okay, so you need to write the letters first. Because if you don't write letters, they will mark you wrong. Okay? But of course, if you want to make it easier for you to read later, you might also want to spell out the word. Okay, but otherwise, you must make sure you write in letter. Okay? Okay, next person. Can we read this one? Next one. Can we have someone else to read? Mm, anyone? Let me see. We go by alphabetical order. J, K. Oh, Phoenicia volunteered. Okay, Phoenicia, next one.
He would return home by noon every day.
Very good. Yes. Okay, by noon. This is actually a preposition of time. It's not like physically the position of an object. Okay, it's not physically the position of an object. But sometimes preposition doesn't necessarily have to be the position of objects or the placing of an object. Sometimes by can be a preposition of time as well. Okay, so yeah, so it's basically by. Okay, next person after Phoenicia. Grace, okay.
One day, the mouse waited for the frog to visit her, but he did not appear.